ready, new barn of healing steps. I wanted to go over a couple things with you before we get rolling so that you feel really confident when you show up to start volunteering here. Just some of the little changes and things we're gonna do. First thing, we're gonna tack up horses over there on that wall. That water's gonna be moved by then. Thank you, Zeus, back up. You're gonna come through here. This gate right now is gonna get replaced to a sliding one, but right now it's really close to those steps. So you're gonna wanna really open up that gate because you've got horses, you don't wanna get into a pinch, you have it too close and tight. So that gate's gonna need to be almost all the way open when we lead horses in. You're gonna come in and you're gonna do a nice big lap around because we're gonna come in from the opposite direction. So this way your therapist can go back down the stairs instead of jumping off the edge. Okay, so you're gonna go here. You're gonna spin around just like you did at the other barn. And you're gonna come here and bring your horse nice and close right there. So you should be able to stand just like this. Wait for your kid to get on, and then we're gonna walk. And then you'll be right going into the session, and then we'll just be able to go right into our clockwise, whatever. One thing we're gonna do very different with these horses is that we're gonna expect them to be a good partner with us. So I don't ever want us to have to put our hand in their halter. I don't want us to have a really tight lead rope and hold on them like this because I want them to do their job and know their job. That means that we are gonna have to be a little bit more consistent as a whole for what our boundaries are, what our expectations are. I picked Zeus to be able to chat with you about because honestly, out of all of them, he's the one that's gonna push the boundaries the most. Not in a naughty way, but just in a I'm a big teddy bear, want to climb in your lap way. And also he's the one that's probably gonna move the slowest. So what I'm talking about is like, as I'm standing here and there's a kid on his back, right? And he tries to come into you. Well, we're gonna ask him to maintain his space and be out of our space because we're in work mode. It's not time to cuddle. So if he's rubbing on you, he's trying to love you, I don't want you to let him, but I also don't want you to do it in a way that's inappropriate for having family. So right here, my hand's up, he's like, oh, do you want to scratch me? Like, nope, I'm creating my boundary, creating my space. We're in work mode. You can love on him and scratch him in between sessions as much as you want, but I want him and all the horses to know that it's work time when the kid's on your back. We'll love on you afterwards. So, you know, a pet here and there, a good boy, totally acceptable. But again, we want to maintain the boundary and let him know what's expected of him. Let's see, when you're walking, really important that we're asking them to do their partnership work. So I'm keeping this nice and loose. I'm not grabbing onto halters. I'm not dragging like this because then I'm doing all the work for them and not asking them to be a partner. So your lead rope should be loose at all times. If let's say we need to go to an extended walk and we're using him, you might get tension on the rope for 1-2 steps until he gets a little faster, and then it needs to go back to slack because again, his job as my partner, same thing, we're working on that. His job as my partner, back up please, is to maintain space and not get into my space, but also maintain his own speed and where he's supposed to be. So again, pick Zeus because he's really good at demonstrating this. Let's see, other things. Okay, so I love that my volunteers always ask what they can do in between sessions. There's quite a few things. The number one pet peeve I have with this arena and the sand is that every time we take a horse out, it tracks sand, Zeus, it tracks sand into the arena. So this is exactly what I want you to do. Like we're maintaining our boundary and then go back to Zeus, we're in work mode, FYI. So sweeping the sand back into the arena is a big one. If it's like horse poop or stuff that was already in the stall, sweeping that back into the stall. We don't want sand in the stalls because then if horses eat in the stalls, they can colic and get really sick. We also don't want manure and things from the aisles or that go into the aisles from the stalls into the arena, right? So just kind of noticing what goes where. Obviously scooping poop in the arena is a big one. I'm trying to keep it as poop free as possible. Other things you can do in between sessions, notice if a water's low, the hose is right in the middle of the aisle there. It's easy to plop it over, put it in the bucket. And obviously ask your therapist. They're gonna have other things that you could do if you wanted to. Obviously getting the horse ready. Lunging, we're not gonna lunge while another session is going. So if there's 2 OTs at the same time, we're staggered on our start. The OTs will have already lunged them before you got there. But if it's free and it's just 1 OT that day, boundaries. He's gonna wanna break them. You can see him processing like, oh, are you sure? You're like, yes, Zeus, I'm sure I'll love on you later. Okay, he's not very happy with that. But we won't be lunging while there's another session going in place. So that's a kind of a change because we've never had 2 OTs going at the same time before. We're gonna use rope halters. Your therapist will be able to help you know which rope halter goes to which horse. It's gonna help you have a little more leverage. And again, I want the horses to know that it's work time, not play time, not rub on me time. Like, we're doing a job, this is your new job. Which again, is gonna take them some time to learn. As you can see, he thinks that it's time for me to rub on him. But it's really, really important to me. So again, no holding onto halters, no holding, pulling and creating a lot of resistance there, because they're just gonna fight you, and we don't want that spiral. We want them to be as, responsive as possible. I think that's it. Flow of session is going to look the same. Expectations of us and how we hold ourselves is going to be the same. Reminder that we're giving our families as much confidence in us and in the horses as possible. And so as these horses are learning, and need little reminders, like obviously you see Zeus right now, do it in a way that's not going to, seem unprofessional or make the parents nervous or concerned or confused. We really want to be subtle and maintain our boundaries with the horses, but in a really appropriate way. Let's see, and the horses are going to learn too as the sessions go on. Zeus is going to figure it out that it's not always cuddle time, which is kind of a bummer because he's good to cuddle, but it's just not always the time. Oh yeah, sorry bud. I think that's the majority of what we need to talk about. Let me know if you have any questions, or Riley, we're more than happy to help. Hopefully this just helps you feel really confident and comfortable at the new place. We're gonna have a lot of fun, it's gonna be great. But let us know if you have any questions, all right? And we are excited to see you.